So I had 11 big guys waiting to have a go at Rickers.
What the hell?
You know, I had 11 world-class guys coming at me full force, ready to trying to get me back for all the hits I've given them.
What? Weird, buddy. You're weird.
So UFC 319 is officially tomorrow. Like usual, I am really late with my video, but we have to make a video on it because UFC 319 is very stacked. Obviously, in the main event, we have Khamzat Chimaev versus DDP.
You're gay! He's gay! I'm not gay.
Alright, enough about that. Anyway, let's get into some of the fights. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I will show all my predictions at the end, so stay tuned for that. Let's talk about this one first. Bisanur Kayv versus Eric Nolan. Now look, to be honest, I had no idea who either of these guys were, but all of a sudden this fight is just gaining so much traction, so much talk, and I'm thinking, like, what's so special about this fight? It's a very short notice fight, of course, but I didn't know who either of these guys were. Bisanur Kayv, basically the big deal is, right, 4 days ago he just earned his UFC contract on the Contender Series. He got a KO, you know, literally 4 days ago. Now he's already signed a fight 4 days later. If he can win this, this might actually be the quickest turnaround, you know, for 2 wins. That would be insane. And obviously big up to Eric Nolan as well. He's actually debuting as well. I thought he was like a random just middleweight, which I didn't know about. No, he's on a 4-fight win streak, and this is his UFC debut as well. So big up to both of these guys for taking this on such short notice. I think Bisanur Kayv could become, you know, a big name within the UFC, especially with a good, you know, standout win here. He's only 24 years old. He's 6'2", 9-0, and 8 of his 9 wins have come by KO. So yeah, man, I do think Kayv will get the win here by KO probably. Next fight is Tim Elliot versus Kai Sakura. A lot of people are actually sleeping on this fight. Not many people are really talking about this fight, even at the press conference. I think Tim Elliot got 1 question and Kai Sakura got no questions at all. So that was actually pretty peak. But I'm excited for this fight, man. Like, I want to see, is Kai Sakura actually a legit fighter? He is a ranked fighter. He's number 15. Tim Elliot is number 11 ranked. So, you know, we'll see how he does. Obviously, Tim Elliot, he has a few good wins. I mean, he's won against Tahir Lambekov. You know, he hasn't fought for a long time. His last fight was a win against Sumu Daerji. But you know, I do think Tim Elliot has to be really careful of Kai Sakura's knockout power, because it is true, like, he has got it. You know, 60% of his wins have come by knockout. So, you know, he has to be careful of that. But obviously, Kai Sakura's debut, it didn't exactly show him in the best light. I mean, he did show some decent striking. He had some decent knees and he landed some good strikes on Pantoja. Obviously Pantoja is the best in the world, so you can only look so good against him. But yeah, man, I think Kai Sakura will get the knockout here, man. You know, Tim Elliot he's been in the UFC for ages. He's old as hell now. He's like 38. Kai Sakura, still kind of a young guy, 31. So yeah, and he is in his prime, if we're being real. Tim Elliot, he's out of his prime and he hasn't fought for a year and a half. So yeah, Kai Sakura by knockout for this one. Next up, Cania versus Michael Paige. This is going to be a good one. I don't know if you guys saw the press conference, but bro, when Michael Paige was trying to, you know, hype up the fans, you know, talk a bit on the mic, Cania was not having any of it, bro.
And someone to just fall over and go to sleep. That guy, Kevin Hart over there. Let's go.
Whoa, relax, dude. Take it easy.
Alright, anyway, let's talk about the fight. This is a step up in weight and competition for Michael Venom Paige. He is taking on Cania, who is a number 8 ranked middleweight, of course. You know, I think it's good that Michael Paige is in the middleweight division. Obviously, we have seen him once before in the middleweight division in his last fight against Sharaput and Magomedov, and he beat him easily. So if he can beat him on the feet, if you know, if MVP can beat Sharabullet on the feet, then he can definitely beat Cania on the feet, and that's what I'm thinking. Michael Paige by decision probably. You know, he hasn't got amazing KO power, I don't think, but Cania, you know, he is a crafty vet, as they say. You know, he has stayed in the middleweight rankings for a very, very long time, but, you know, he is 41. I mean, to be fair, Michael Paige is old as well. He is 38, but I think Michael Paige is just slicker, faster, you know, better head movement, better. I think he's better everywhere on the feet anyway. Obviously, Cania isn't really known for his wrestling, so I think it would be smart for him to initiate the wrestling, but I'm not sure if he actually will. But for one thing is for sure, if they say striking, Michael Paige will get the win, in my opinion. So I'm gonna pick Michael Paige via a UD. Next up, the featured fight, Jeff Neal versus Carlos Prates. I think this is a pretty easy one to predict. Carlos Prates by KO. Look, obviously we saw Carlos Prates in his last bout get tested very heavily by Ian Gary, but I don't think Jeff Neal is on the same pedigree as Ian Gary. He is getting kind of up there in age now, and to be fair, he is a good striker for sure, like you can't doubt it, but I think Carlos Prates, with his power, with his striking, you know, he almost finished Ian Gary. People forget that, man. People forget, man. But in that 5th round, Carlos Prates, he almost finished him, bro. So if he can almost finish Ian Gary, then I think he's got a good chance with Jeff Neal. So I'm going to pick Carlos Prates by KO. Next up, it's the co-main event between Luron Murphy and Aaron Pico. And, bro, damn, bro, Aaron Pico is actually jacked. Like, that guy's shredded. To be fair, both of them are like, even Luron Murphy, he's like shredded. Anyway, let's stop talking about the flipping physique.
You're gay!
Let's talk about this fight. I mean, obviously, we've seen Luron Murphy in there a lot in the UFC. He's just coming off a UD against Josh Emmett. And before that, you know, Dan Ige, Barboza, stuff like that. So Aaron Pico is actually making his debut. A very, very, you know, highly ranked opponent for his debut. He was scheduled against Movsar. Now he's got the Luron Murphy fight. Even that is quite generous, I would say. But I think Murphy's just gonna get him, bro. Like, I think Murphy's just gonna murk him, bro. I don't know. I think Pico is a bit overrated. Obviously, he has seen 4 losses in his career, and one of them was actually, you know, quite recent in 2022. No, wait, actually that was an injury, never mind. But he has listen, the point is he has got finished. We have seen him definitely have holes, and you know, of course he has good KO power, good wrestling, but against what competition, bro? Like, he's literally been fighting random people. I don't think I recognize a single name on his resume. Call me a casual, I don't care, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna go Luron Murphy by, I'll say Luron Murphy by UD. And of course, finally, the main event. This is the 50-50 fight of all 50-50 fights, bro. Like, genuinely, I'm so torn up about this. Bro, listen, look. This is how it's gonna go, right? Obviously, what everyone else has been saying is true. If this fight goes past the first round, if Chimaev cannot sub or KO or whatever, if he cannot finish DDP in the first round, he's losing, realistically. You know, I know he's been saying in his interviews, oh, I'm ready for 5 rounds, brother. You know, if the longer the fight goes, the happier I am. Yeah, he's chatting, bro. He's chatting shy, bro. I don't know what he's talking about. But listen, I'm gonna choose Chimaev, man. Listen, last time I chose him against Whittaker, and then I switched last second, and then he won in the first round. And you know what? I'm done doubting Chimaev. You know, I have picked DDP for the last few of his fights, and he has won them all, but you know, bro, I can't again go against Chimaev again, bro. I learned my lesson. I think he's just gonna get, like, he's gonna get the submission, bro. Like, I see him taking down DDP within the first 10 seconds. I don't think DDP has that good takedown defense. I mean, like, I think he's getting a bit overrated. You know, people talking about him like this Goliath, so skilled, and like, he's getting a little bit overrated now, I can't lie. Like, obviously he is a great fighter, and if he beats Chimaev, that's only gonna, you know, make that even more. But you know, you're not gonna not get taken down by Chimaev if he is trying to take you down, especially in that first round. And yeah, man, he's so dangerous in that first round. We saw it against Whittaker, we've seen it against literally every single one of his other opponents. Even in the Kamaru Usman fight, Chimaev basically dogged on Kamaru in that first round. But if DDP can do what Kamaru Usman did, which is survive the early storm in round 1, I think he can come back and win the fight, bro. So that's why I'm genuinely so 50-50. But like I said before, I'm not gonna choose against Chimaev again, bro. I learned my lesson after I switched last second in that Robert Whittaker versus Chimaev fight. Yeah, man, look, if Chimaev wins this, is going to be big, you know, for the division. It might be, you know, it might be kind of bad for the division, actually, because, you know, we don't know about his health, we don't know about his activity, stuff like that. DDP, if he wins against Chimaev, this is going to make him like a superstar. This is going to be it will probably make him the GOAT of welter middleweight. I'm not even going to lie, bro, because, like, he's got 2 wins over a prime Strickland. He's got a finish over, obviously, Adesanya, and a finish over Robert Whittaker. a finish over Chimaev, or even just a normal win over Chimaev, would make that resume so stacked. And he has a good argument for that middleweight GOAT conversation. Yeah, man, I'm gonna go Chimaev though, first round submission. But I will say this: if it doesn't go to a first round submission, yeah, DDP's getting that win. I feel like if it goes past the first round, DDP could get a finish of his own. To be honest, like you know, we haven't seen Chimaev that much in the cage. Like we need to see him over 5 rounds. He's saying he's ready, but I don't think he is. Let's see how it goes. But yeah, I'm gonna go Chimaev first round submission. So there it is. I'm just gonna quickly throw up my predictions for the entire card. So here you go. You guys let me know in the comment section down below. Do you agree, disagree? It is literally tomorrow, so I'm not sure how many people are gonna see this video, but if you did enjoy it, please do like, comment, share, subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload. And yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys next time. Safe.